line. Bad bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate.
Hello, Kenzie. How are you? Thank you.
I'm good. How are you?
Debate on this, and I'm not against feminism, but I'm against the new feminism. So there's a difference. Pro-choice, you're never going to solve that. That is going to be 50-50 forever. And I think it's where you live. It should be voted on by where you live. Men shouldn't have to protect women.
A majority of people are pro-choice.
Okay.
And I don't know why your rights should fluctuate based on your location.
Because it changes. Different people are brought up different areas, different poverty levels, different wealth, the dollar goes a little further down south than it goes up north. It's a whole bunch of things, but pro-choice is
right. But why would that change my access to healthcare?
Well, you've never lost access to healthcare ever in the country, in the United States.
There are states who definitely deny people access to abortion and access to healthcare.
Oh,
We've seen
healthcare
much
and abortion
negative
is different.
outcomes. They are not. We've seen many negative healthcare outcomes from people being denied abortion. There's actually a lawsuit in Texas of 13 women who are suing the state.
Being denied abortion is different than being denied healthcare. Now, let me explain what I don't know. It is like you can go anywhere in the United States, walk into an emergency room and be treated. And you don't even have to pay, believe it or not.
Not for abortion.
No, see, that's what I just said. Healthcare and abortion are two different things. They may interlap.
I'm not saying healthcare is an umbrella term, that you have zero access to any form of healthcare. Okay. I'm saying you're being denied a form of healthcare.
Correct. Yes, that's the way. Much better way to say it. You can't argue with that.
I don't know why that delineation means anything to your argument. Because again, I ask you again, why does my access to abortion change based on where I live?
Because there's different rules where you live. There's different ways of life. It changes. Life is different. I'm in New Jersey, and people in Louisiana do not live life the same way as I do.
That's circular. That is circular.
But it's different rules there. There's different rules.
Right. You're saying there should be different rules based on where you live. I'm asking you why, and you're saying because there's different rules based on where you live. That is circular. That's not even circular. That's like not even an answer.
Yeah, I didn't hear your question. I don't know if it cut out or something. So your question is, why is it? Right?
Why should there be? Because this is a normative statement for you, that there should be a variation on what you have, what your rights are, what you have access to based on your location. And I'm asking you why.
I would say based on people's beliefs. I think belief, and I believe religion is a big part of it. It's humanity. We're not all the same. We're gonna disagree.
Why do I have to succumb to other people's religious views? Do you? Well, that's what you're telling me, though.
Well, I'm saying that's what happens. That's what's happening in real world.
You're telling me this is how it ought to be. I'm not asking you how it is. We're talking about how it ought to be.
It should be based on the majority of where you live. And if you don't like that, then you move.
Why?
Because that's how our country was built.
That's an appeal to tradition.
I guess tradition. I don't know if abortion is a tradition. I think they've been killing kids.
Should slavery be allowed in the South?
No, it's not allowed anywhere in the United States.
It was allowed in the South. That's why the Civil War happened, because the states in the South wanted to keep slavery legal, and the Union wanted to make it a constitutional protection.
Correct.
So I'm asking you, since you hold this position for abortion, wouldn't it make logical sense to hold this position for slavery?
No, they're two different things. You can't mix slavery and killing a child.
We're talking about rights. So if I'm arguing under the framework
that you can go to Texas and you can open carry. You can come to New York and go to New York City, and you can't. It's different.
Right, but so you're saying that abortion should fall under states' rights. Why shouldn't slavery?
Slavery is non-existent. That's why. But abortion
it's not. We currently have slavery in our modern system.
In our what?
In our current system, we allow for slavery.
Well, we're all, if you work somewhere, you're pretty much a paid slave. That's what you are. But that's
No,
just
I'm talking about prisoners. The 13th Amendment says that if you've committed a crime, that
right.
slavery is permissible.
Where do you see this? I'm a police officer. I haven't seen prisoners
In the
being treated
13th
less.
Amendment.
No, I haven't seen this. Where do you see prisoners?
In our 13th Amendment of the Constitution.
So prisoners are being treated like slaves?
Yes. They are
Where?
being forced to perform labor without pay.
That's I've never heard. I've been a cop for 23 years. I've been in and out
And
of
you haven't
prisons.
read the Constitution?
Just because you read something doesn't make every prisoner in the state of New Jersey is forced to work. Correct. They are paid a
Without pay.
wage. No, they are paid a wage. They're paid $2.05 an hour, and
Sure.
it goes to their cost of living. So they charge you per day. Especially county jails, they charge you per day. Most prisoners.
I feel we're getting off track.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime. That's in the 13th Amendment.
Right.
So yes, within our current system, slavery is permissible, and it is permissible if you have been punished as punishment for a crime.
If
But
you want to
again,
use that as that word, you're
you
just using
still are
that
not
word.
answering my question. I'm sorry, what?
I did answer your question. I said it's based on different people's beliefs. You don't believe the same as I. I don't believe the same as somebody
Again,
else.
why should that have an influence? Do you think that the First Amendment is applicable, that I should have the freedom of religion?
Sure. Why not?
Then why should I be denied access to abortion because there are religious people? Wouldn't that be them forcing their religion upon me?
No, they would be forcing their beliefs to not exercise what you believe. Do you understand? So I'll give you an example. So
Wait,
you
no,
move
they're telling me I can't have an abortion. If they
there.
don't
You
want an
can't have it
abortion,
there
no
because
one's
they don't want to
making
do
them
it.
get an abortion.
You can't have it there. Let's just say one town says, no, we're not doing
Correct.
abortions here. And we all agree on this. The majority agree. So in Nashville, Tennessee, you can't get an abortion. That doesn't mean you can't go find and get an abortion
Right,
somewhere else.
but if they cite because of Christianity, people in our community cannot have abortions, aren't they enforcing their theology into government?
No, they are enforcing this is going to sound horrible. They're enforcing a task that they can perform that they are refusing to perform to you. They're not
Based on their
forcing you
religion.
to join their
Based on
religion.
their religion.
They're not forcing you to join their religion. They're forcing
No, they
you
are
to go somewhere
forcing
else.
they are infusing their religion into government.
Being a doctor is government?
If they make a law, that's what we're talking about, pro-choice. If they make a law to where abortion is illegal, they are making legislation that is the foundation of it is their religious beliefs.
I've never seen a law where it's been based on religious beliefs, though.
This is literally your argument.
Yeah, but you're not making sense because you're saying you're doing a what if. I'm just saying if.
This is your argument. This is so frustrating for me because I don't even feel like you are acknowledging that this is your argument. That in your statements, in your premise, you are saying that it is perfectly permissible for Christians to enforce anti-abortion laws within their community. Is that a yes or a no?
Sure, yes.
Then yes. How do you not acknowledge that you are allowing people to infuse their religion into legislation? And that would be a violation of someone's constitutional rights.
Okay, well, I see your point, but how can you force somebody to provide you a service that they don't believe in? You can't. I'm neither pro or against. I don't care either way.
I'm not saying that doctors ought to be obligated to provide abortions.
So how do you make them?
My premise is that there should be no legislation regarding abortion.
Okay, that's fair. I think there should be less government as well. Yeah. I think everybody should just mind their own business. And you do, if I'm a doctor and I decide I'm doing abortions, I do abortions. I agree. If I don't feel like because some stupid religion tells me no, then I don't do abortions. So yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. You're right.
So
Government,
I'm
less
sorry, are
government.
you pro-choice?
I am neither. I'm for whatever you feel like you need to do in your life. I
That
can't tell.
certainly sounds like pro-choice.
No, I can't tell somebody. Listen, if my sister wanted to have an abortion, I'm not going to say yes or no. That's her decision. If she's for it, then she gets it. If she says no, I'm having a baby, then that's her decision. Just
What
like
do you think pro-choice is?
pro-choice would be saving the life of a child.
That is pro-life or anti-abortion.
Okay.
Okay. What else do
Pro-choice
you
should
want
be
to
you have the
what else do
choice.
you want to talk about?
Okay, pro-choice, you should have the choice to pick whatever you want. I think that's what this country was based on, freedom.
Okay.
I
What else do you
did.
want to talk about?
Okay, trans women are not women. It's
Why not?
impossible. It's impossible. It's physically impossible. Are trans canines?
So when we talk about gender and we talk about sex, sex is a reference to certain biological characteristics that we have classified either under female or male, and gender is social constructions on essentially roles, um, certain biological references as well as psychological differences. So I don't think um, comparing them to animals is accurate because humans socialize in different manners. And so when we talk about women,
Or
we're
humans
talking
are
about the
animals.
social construction of gender.
Humans are animals.
Humans are animals. Do
Okay, so
dogs like wear clothes?
sure they do.
Do dogs get jobs
Sure they do.
and fill out W-2s?
They don't fill out W-2s, but they do have
Okay.
jobs. They
Do
work
they
in the
vote?
military. They work in the police departments. They work for fire departments.
So
They,
did they apply for those jobs? Do they fill out an application?
yeah, it's usually through AKC. It's paperwork
Wait,
that
so the dog actually writes out the application in their name and
no a human being writes it for
okay,
them.
great. So, um, do dogs drive cars?
No, not that I know of.
Do they vote? Do they hold elections?
No, they can't.
Okay, so do you acknowledge that there's differences in how humans socially construct and how dogs do?
Correct. Yes.
Great. So then I think you can understand certain social constructions within human culture and society that do not translate to animals.
I know. I use it as an example, but my point is that you are born a
It's a
male,
bad
or
argument.
you're okay. That's your opinion. You're born a male, or you're born a female. There is no
Right.
in between.
Male and female. Well, there is because there's
Well, very
intersex.
rare. Very rare. Um,
Um, it that doesn't matter. There's a very low population of redheads. They still exist.
okay, but
Like if we talk about trans people, by that logic, trans people are very rare.
that's so you're right, but that's somebody that needs mental health help, not somebody that needs to be glorified as, hey, this is okay. It's
Why?
not because there's something wrong. If you, not something wrong, but there's got to be some kind of underlying issue, and not
What is that
everyone.
issue?
I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm just saying
Great. Then why are you making these statements?
because that's what I feel. That's my opinion.
I see. So you're here to tell everyone your feelings and not discuss facts.
Well, that is facts. If you have a penis, you're a male. If you have a vagina, you're a female. Those are facts. You can't skip over those
Again,
facts.
sure, but we're not talking about sex. We're talking about gender. And for you to come up here and
So
not
gender
only make
is a mental.
misstatements,
Gender is mental.
gender is social and psychological. And that
Mental.
does obviously have
Mental.
crossover.
Say mental
Does have
because you
crossover.
just
I
said
said
psychological.
psychological. Yeah.
Mental. So mental health. That's what I just said. They need mental health, which is
Mental health and psychological well-being, while there may be overlap, again, are two different things. Because the relationship that you have with your body, and then having mental health issues are two different things.
I think they connect very well. But
Do
thank you for
you
your
wear
time.
dresses?
Do I wear dresses?
Yeah.
Sure. I think guys can wear dresses. Guys can wear whatever they want.
Do you wear dresses?
No, I don't wear dresses.
Why not?
I guess it's a social faux pas for, something I learned. Girls wear dresses, guys don't,
But
I'm
I
not
mean, if you
against.
put a dress on, that wouldn't make you any less of a male. So
Correct.
why don't you wear dresses?
They're really not designed for men.
How? I would actually think they
Women
would
and
be
men
very
have different
comfortable for
hips. You
men.
know that, right? So women have wider hips.
Right. And dresses aren't necessarily designed to be form-fitting to hips. They can also be
Men have different
free-flowing.
genitals than females. So, especially if you wear a skirt, that's not.
Right. You can wear underwear still. And
But
again, I think that
still,
would be really easy access and helpful for you to pee or a
it
nice
probably would.
breeze.
The men wear skirts or kilts. You can wear a kilt. They do it all the time. I didn't say there was
Right.
anything
But
wrong
my
with it.
point, so I'll get to my point.
Go
My
ahead.
point is that through socialization, the clothes that you choose to wear are a part of your gender affirming care. Even though if you were to put a dress on, it would not change your maleness. You would have discomfort based on gender social constructions.
Okay. Right. You would have
So
discomfort because
that right there shows that gender is just not biological. There is also psychological and social elements of it. So a trans woman, while I certainly think there are instances where they can meet biological criteria, and even going through HRT does induce an intersex characteristic, and they would be aligned more to females than males, there are psychological elements that align them with the construction of women. Women are more than their bodies, and for you to reduce us to our bodies, I think is very
I'm
much a
reducing men to their
patriarchal.
bodies too.
I think that's a very much a patriarchal construction because of the idea within the patriarchy, especially with the religious context, that sex is binary.
I'm not religious, but okay. But you can't change what you are. If you were to be
So
a
I think,
trans woman
okay, go ahead.
and you were
Sorry.
buried and we dug you up in 100 years, we would be able to say, oh no, this is a guy. This is a
Well, that's
male.
actually not true. There are a lot of examples I can point to where we have found female remains buried next to sacrificial horses, buried next to tools like spears to show that these people were warriors. And because they were buried next to these items, they were actually classified as male because of the common conception that men were soldiers. So even when it comes to this
Well, that's a bad
classification,
scientist. That's a bad, what do you call
well,
anthropologist?
this happened to the Berta warrior, where they classified a great female warrior as a man for decades, and tons of research regarding this person was given to how influential and how much of an amazing warrior they were until they actually did DNA testing and found out they were female. So you can say that all day long, but when we actually observe this within society, yes, they do very much take into account biases of gender roles.
Okay. Thank you for your time. That was a good debate. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.